gosh, just such a huge Blade Runner fan.
Blade Runner is an iconic piece of film history.
I thought visually it was stunning. The performances were great. It's very timeless.
Personally, I've been a big fan of Blade Runner since I was a kid. It was a big part of my youth.
I was really blown away that they wanted me involved, especially with such a great team and their history, and getting to be a lead role was wonderful.
I got the offer. I saw the words Blade Runner at the top, and I didn't even look at it. I sent them back an email, yes.
And I heard the word Blade Runner, I was in.
My name is Jessica Hernick, and I play Elle in Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Need to borrow this.
Playing Elle is interesting because it definitely encourages me to get in touch with my badass side.
Leave me alone!
But she goes on a really nice, authentic journey, and she doesn't lose her femininity, which, sometimes happens. And it's such a great place that we find her in. She basically wakes up and she has one memory, and she doesn't know who she is or how she got there, how she got to this place. And so we're really going on this journey of exploration with her.
I can't remember anything. Whatever's inside there may help me find out who I am.
I think what's always drawn me to Blade Runner is the question of what makes us human. How do we differentiate ourselves from AI and animals and things like that? The big life questions, Blade Runner always tackles them, and that's interesting to me.
I'm a good person. I would never hurt anyone.
I was there. I remember what you did.
My name is Samira Wiley, and I have the honor of playing Officer Davis in Blade Runner.
Couldn't cut it in the Blade Runner program, could you, Davis?
In this town, no one retires replicants anymore. There just aren't any replicants left.
Officer Davis is someone who doesn't back down. She's a badass, and a lot of times I think when people try to sway her from the things that she knows are right, she doesn't take too kindly to that.
I ain't got nothing on me. Whoa, ow!
Heard you had a run-in with a young woman. Bad attitude. Tattoo of a Black Lotus.
In a lot of ways, we are alike. I think that we're both dedicated to our jobs. We both value excellence. She pushes back.
You better give me more than that.
I don't do that as much. I'm a little more agreeable, but there are so many things and characters that I play that I admire and a lot of times would like to incorporate into my own life. So thanks, Davis.
Hey, Marco, you better get those noodles to go.
I'm Wes Bentley, and I'm playing Neander Wallace in Blade Runner Black Lotus. I gave the people manna when heaven would not oblige. For Neander, to go to him is tough in one way. He's colder than I could ever be. He's more methodical than I could ever be. He's smarter than I could ever be. So to attain a bit of him, I decided to take my time with everything he said. Everything intended will happen. A god makes it so. I don't think Neander wastes a word, ever. Everything he says has a very specific meaning, and it all has to do with his plan. And that's it. He says nothing more or less. You can expect fascinating results in time.
My name is Willian Lee, and I play the character of Jay.
Memories are overrated. If you've lost yours, quit while you're ahead.
Maybe the early 30s me was more like Jay, kind of, thinking that everything had to be dark and blue and grim.
Said I'd help you. Doesn't mean you can go through my things. Get your own.
But the real me is much more optimistic, and I don't try to kill replicants.
I always finish a job.
The differences between acting on camera versus doing voice work is that doing voice work is so much more free. I can come to work in my pajamas if I wanted to. I don't have to go through hair and makeup. I don't have to hit a mark or worry about anything like that. It's really pure. You just go into a room and you just use your imagination.
You have much more freedom just being in front of a mic and being able to bring the emotion through. A lot of times when I'm behind the mic, I make sure that I try and do a lot of the things that the character would do. So if she's fighting, I'm moving all around, but I don't have to worry about staying on any camera. So it's almost a little more true to life in that way.
I think it's really important when you're doing this kind of work for getting into the character to really take a deep dive into the whatever script they've given you. Finding the character, that's really on the writer. Hopefully they've written you a really good description, which they did on this. They really gave me a very clear idea of what they wanted Neander to sound like, to be like. And so that made it very easy on me.
The biggest difference is not acting opposite someone and not looking someone in the eyes and having something reactive coming at you. So it's just trusting in how you interpret the scene and then laying it down and just trusting.
There are so many people involved in this project, and Wes Gleason, who was the voice director, really, I think, helped me also craft who this character is. He knows so much more about the project, and we really work together.
Wes is such a good director. He's wonderful. And he's got such a good ear for it, and he just fine-tunes and fine-tunes.
I'm not going to change anything as far as projection levels or amount of pain. I think that's really spot on. I want to give you another run at it just to see what you do, to see what you bring out. My name's Wes Gleason. I'm the voice director and casting director for Blade Runner Black Lotus. For me, it was exciting because this just read like it was a 13-hour movie, to where, yes, it's a series, but the connected through line through both the original Blade Runner film, which I'm such a huge fan of, and the 2049 film, which I'm also a fan of, just that colliding of the two universes and playing a story that's in between that and still a through line, felt like we were just directing one long movie.
What's a replicant? A machine?
Not exactly.
Being a voice director on a project like this is a unique challenge, and working with the Japanese directors, Kenji Kamiyama, Shinji Aramaki, just such powerful names in their field. And like I felt, okay, we're in great hands with this team. And to mix that style of theirs with something that would be performance-driven and something that wouldn't be forced to necessarily match to any scratch that would be created by people that weren't the actors playing those parts. And so the opportunity was exciting because we got to start fresh and letting the actors surprise all of us, which they inevitably do because they're just amazing at what they do. So we can all have a thought or a vision of what the scene or tone should be, but then when you get these performers that just use all of their craft and all their history and all their experience to kind of give you the unexpected, I think that's what we really got on this project. So it's just been awesome.
To the fans of Blade Runner, I hope that you come and enjoy this experience, and to anyone coming with fresh eyes, it's amazing. You're gonna love it.
I can feel